Apple is often called the gold standard of design, but their journey wasn't a straight line to perfection. It's a story of a company that started by searching for its identity through visual chaos, only to turn design into a religion that the entire world is now obsessed with. How did they gain such total control over our perception? Let's break down their evolution without the fluff. In the 90s, Apple was still experimenting. They played with translucent casings and unconventional colors to break away from the sea of boring, gray office boxes. But this is where they laid their foundation. Design is not decoration. It's a way to create an emotional bond with the user. They realized that people don't buy things just for specs. They buy them for how they feel when they look at them. But emotion alone isn't enough to build an empire. Design had to become a flawless instrument. This led to the era of aluminum and glass. Here, Apple began implementing what separates pros from amateurs: strict systemic design. They started using the golden ratio and rigid grids for everything, from iconography to the placement of ports on the chassis. This mathematical discipline in proportions turned their products into something that felt like jewelry. They set a standard where every millimeter of white space had a specific purpose. And then came iOS 7. Remember that moment? In one day, they just wiped away everything we knew. All those leather textures, shadows, and bevels. Basically, all that imitation of reality we had grown used to. At first it looked strange, even cheap, as if someone had just painted the interface with a single layer of flat color. Many people hated it at the time, but Apple just took the lead and rewrote the rules of the game. They stopped catering to our old habits and started dictating what a modern interface should look like. In the end, the rest of the world just started copying them, because there was no other way forward. After the shift to flat design, Apple started working on details we don't consciously notice but definitely feel. Look at the corners of their icons. That's not just a standard corner radius. It's a complex mathematical shape called a squircle. It doesn't have a sharp transition between the straight line and the curve like normal rectangles do. This math helps minimize visual noise. At the same time, they perfected typography by releasing the San Francisco font. They calculated line spacing and contrast so perfectly that the text remains readable in any light. They stopped just drawing interfaces. They began engineering our attention, minimizing the cognitive load on our brains. Look at this trajectory. In the beginning, it was a search for individuality, then a fight for perfect proportions and grids, and now a fight for the total disappearance of the interface. Their current goal is to make products so intuitive that you don't even notice the design anymore. This is the highest form of mastery, when thousands of hours of work on individual pixels lead to a product you just use without a second thought.